Here they are, the men behind I'm Blogging here, Shay and Corey. Remember, we are looking for donations for the rest of the show, so head on over to Indiegogo.com/I'm Blogging here and start donating. We're gonna be doing some crazy perks during this show, including shout outs of your names. Whoever donates in real time during the show, we will give you a shout out. So, yes.
I signed this pillow months ago. Weren't you supposed to give it away to somebody?
No, we gave a t-shirt away.
Oh, look, this is where my wife signed. I miss you, honey.
Aww. So let's get into this this project. There's a lot of questions around this, and you're going to be making a big announcement also on this show today. So we'll wait for that in a second. First, tell us about what this project is all about. What inspired this?
So last year, when I hit my 3 years of daily vlogging, I was like, you know, like I've been making these videos every day for 3 years. I want to do something else. I want to have a cool project that I'm excited about again. And as most YouTubers, it's like, well, what am I going to work on next? And so I decided, I'm like, I want to do a film. I want to do a documentary telling this story. You know, because a lot of people don't know that you can, you know, let alone make money on YouTube. And there's hundreds of people that are making career. This is a new viable option for a lot of people that are going to school right now to come up and to be in the new media space. So I wanted to tell that story. I was, you know, part of the creation of Maker Studios that now employs over 350 people.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
A lot of these people have, you know, health insurance. Is that a clap-worthy thing? Thank you.
Well, no, I think it is. I've known you guys since you were a room, and I'm just constantly amazed. You also just raised, and this is public, so I'm going to say this, $36 million. I mean, you are a legitimate company. You are the next generation media brand, which we're all trying to create those right now, but you guys are doing it. And it obviously didn't happen overnight, but I mean, this is huge.
No, it's been 3 years of work and struggle and putting yourself out there. It's a huge risk. When I remember, you know, trying to convince my wife to move out to Los Angeles to start this idea, it was scary. And she said, no, I'm not moving to LA. And I said, babe, it's just a 12-hour car ride home. We can get home. If we get stabbed, if we get mugged, we can just get in our van and go home.
No, it's part of a vlog.
Yeah. It's great footage. But this documentary is the story of how this became not only our life, but the life of others. There's so much good that's happening with the Vlog Brothers. Just raised $500,000 for charity. And if you think about the ripple effects of all of those good things that all these vloggers are doing, you know, Charles Trippy has, you know, given people courage who had cancer, and just he had a brain tumor, and going through all that in front of a giant audience takes a lot of courage. And I wanted to tell that story for over a year now. Like I said, when I hit 3 years of vlogging last year, I was like, I'm gonna make a documentary, I'm gonna do it. And just like any idea, any good idea that people have, it's like it gets put on the back burner and you get busy, and it's like, when are we gonna make it happen? So a couple weeks ago, Corey was in LA visiting with his crew, and I was telling him, he said, well, what are you up to? What are you doing these days? And I said, I really wanna make this film. I wanna make a documentary, a feature-length movie about how this story happened, and kind of expose this YouTube community to the rest of the world, and to let, you know, all the other people in the world who've heard of YouTube. Everybody knows about YouTube, but not everybody knows about, you know, what Nerdfighteria is, or what, who Michael Buckley is.
Yeah,
or all these
and not
people.
just the good stuff, because I feel like we code over it. It's always sugar-coated, but also the bad stuff, the stuff that you're not maybe putting in your edit.
Right.
And that's what we've been talking about, like on the Shay Tard's channel, and you know, last night we had a call with Ali Trippy. Is like, you know, a lot of times stuff has happened in people's lives, like Shay or Charles and Ali, and you have to, you know, they psych themselves up and turn on the camera and deliver a really positive message because they have this message of positivity and encouragement, and then they stop recording, and there's kind of this moment of pause or silence because, you know, you want to be honest with your audience, but at the same time, very rarely are people like, guys, I'm having a terrible day today and everything sucks.
And there's a lot of judgment that comes with that too. Well, I want to check in with you because we're going to be giving shout outs to donations. I want you to take your phone out. While you're taking your phone out, donate right now. Can we put up the link to the Indiegogo site right now? That link, if you donate right now and we see that come through, we will give you a shout out on the show.
Justin just contributed $25.
Woo! Thank you, Justin! I love you, Justin!
Alina contributed $40.
Alina.
Thank you, Alina.
That is so cool. All right, we're gonna, while you keep on donating, we'll give more shout outs. Let's take a question from the chat room. We have a ton of questions coming in through Twitter as well.
The chat room, everyone's really, really excited. They're all so excited to be here and so excited to see Shay. They want to know, where do you think you're going to be touring the movie when it's ready and finished?
We want this movie to be available everywhere. Eventually, we want it to be free on YouTube for everybody to see. So if you can't donate, if we don't come to your city, if you can't make it to a theater, if you don't have Netflix or Hulu or any of those things, we want this to be available on as many platforms and as many places as possible. Eventually, it has to go back to where all this originated, to YouTube. So I definitely, we've agreed, one of the goals is that once we're able to try to pitch it to different places, we want it to be free on YouTube for everybody to see.
So there was a bit of controversy also, and that's why we want to approach the fans who are watching and just kind of answer all of that now.
Ask away, Shira.
So
ask us the tough questions.
Hard-hitting.
Make us feel nervous. What is it, Barbara Walters of YouTube? What do you want to ask me? Let me hear it.
Well, it's hard to take things seriously when you ask that way. But let's get serious here.
Okay.
So why do you think there was such controversy and a bit of backlash at the beginning? I mean, you didn't put up a video originally, so it's hard. When you put up these Indiegogo things, being like, oh, what are you really going to do with this money?
Totally.
All that stuff.
Okay, so a couple things. Hindsight's 2020. We should have made a video explaining all of our intentions, the budget, what the movie was. Basically, and I made an iPhone Hard video about this, it was my zealousness that said, I gotta get this project done. Like I said, it's been a year since I've had this idea and have been thinking about doing it. Basically, when Corey said, let's do it, let's get an Indiegogo project up by Tuesday, and it was rushed.
It wasn't fast. Like a lot of people were saying, why don't you just spend your own money? You're such a,
I'm a millionaire. I'm
rich now.
And people, I've been getting comments like, well, you're rich. And especially with the news that came out recently that Maker raised $38 million from Time Warner. A lot of people have said, well, you're rich. You can get that money from Maker Studios. Which I could, honestly. I have the text from Danny Diamond, the CEO of our company, saying, we can give you the money to make this movie. I wanted this to be a personal project. I want this to something that I have 100% control over. And having been in this industry for the last couple of years, if anybody gives you money or is a part of the project, they want to have a say. They want to give their input about what they think is the best for your project. This is an idea that I am passionate about and a story that I want to tell more than anything. So I need to make sure as few hands are in the decision pot as possible. And that's why I ultimately made that decision, that I want to own 100% of this. And at the end of the day, when I sit down and look at the edit and say, I like that.
That's it.
That's it. Let's put it up. And I don't want anybody to be like, well, we think that for market research, we think you should probably take this part. But no, I want to make the movie that I want to make and have nobody else have a say in it. And so I'm trusting and counting on the people who watch our videos to support us and to donate.
Speaking of which, let's go back to see who has given donations in real time during this live show.
Marissa has donated. Thank you, Marissa, $40. Kaylee contributed $40 just
wow, 40. I mean, that's
so much,
a legitimate amount of money.
And here's the other thing too, is like I don't expect a bunch of people to give us this is that whole many hands make light work. If we could get 100,000 people to give us $2, $5.
Where are you at right now, and how much are you trying to raise?
We hit 50,000 this morning.
Okay.
Our goal is 180,000.
Okay.
Yes. None of that money is for profit. None of that money is to go into Shay's pocket or go into the crew's pocket. Those are the expenses that we put together over a week of us flying around and going and interviewing YouTubers in their natural habitat. And we tried to make it cheaper. It's like, why don't we fly everybody to LA and just shoot it in LA?
No, but you want to go in their environments.
Yeah, I want to go see Hank Green. I want to go see Wheezy Waiter and talk to his band and see where he films, because that's where you're going to get the real answers.
So let's put up the lower third where you can donate right now, and you will get a shout out on the show. And while you guys go on this link, donate, we actually are going to show you a little video of you talked about your project and your goals for the interviews on your latest vlog. So while you guys all donate, take a look at this right now, and we'll be back giving shout outs to all of you out there.
I had just talked about people being inspired to love because of you guys and Charles and Allie, or people being inspired to go to school because of vloggers like John Green or Hank Green. How the YouTube community gets inspired by the people they watch, but the people they watch get inspired by the YouTube community, because Shay just told me all kinds of incredible stories about people who lost weight because of Shay loss. And he knows all these stories right off the top of his head.
We've had 3 hours of discussion about this documentary. I was just telling Corey, we've just been discussing how it can't be all roses and sunshine. We need those moments where people, the Oprah moment, the Barbara Walters moment, where people break down and say, this is what was really going on while all that stuff was happening on the outside. And I was just asking Colette, like, what our thing would be, which I'm not going to tell you. And that's what I just asked Corey. I said, what is the one thing that, because if you don't know what I'm talking about, we are making a documentary together. It's titled, Hey, I'm Vlogging Here, and it's going to highlight multiple YouTubers. We've already talked to Hank and John Green from the Vlog Brothers, Charles and Allie, Prank versus Prank, CharlieIsSoCoolLike, Wheezy Waiter, we talked to him. Cater17. We just want to like highlight a bunch of people in the YouTube community. What I was just saying to Corey is, what is the one thing that a lot of these YouTubers don't share with their audience? Because for a lot of these, especially the daily vloggers like us and Charles and Prank vs. Prank, you see our lives every day, but there's definitely things that we don't tell you because, one, there is a little, sense of you want to have some privacy, and you're afraid to share your weaknesses or the troubles that you have that we don't ever film or ever talk about. That's what I want to get in the documentary. We're just talking like, how are we going to get these YouTubers to be willing to open up and share these things? And we were just talking about what our thing would be. Now this is a little weird because, there is a very big specific thing that we didn't ever share.
You're gonna regret this.
So there are already some pretty cool perks being offered on Indiegogo. Stuff like a high-quality download of the documentary with Shay Tard's commentary, a hand-drawn piece of art by Sun Tard or Baby Tard, a Shay Carl dedicated tweet, and more. Jackson, you're actually in the chat room. We're gonna go to those comments right now.
People.
You're also an associate producer on the project.
Yeah.
That was a perk on this.
It was. We have 500 people in the chat room, and you guys are awesome. But yeah, I met Shay like everyone else through YouTube, and he made my dream come true. I got to work with him in a music video, and he put me on the map. So the second I saw this, I was the first one to be the associate producer. I called him right up afterwards, and we had a nice conversation because he made my dream come true. I believe in this project. I think it's going to be an awesome film. I can't wait to help out and make it the best documentary ever. And everyone in the chat room, check the link below, donate $1, whatever you can, and let's see this thing get made.
So let's go to the chat room. Let's give some shout outs right now, take questions.
There's a question here. They say, Shay, will you act differently in the documentary camera than you will on your flip camera?
No, I mean, I think that people that hang out with me can attest that like I'm the same on camera as I am off camera. What we did talk about in that little clip is there are things that we don't share just because I had this conversation with Allie last night. Sometimes you get, as you're vlogging yourself, as I'm like saying things into the camera, as I'm saying those things, I'm reading the comments of what people will say because of the thing I just said. And there's this fear that if you say the wrong thing or if you come across the wrong way, that people will not like you anymore. And then all of a sudden you fear that you're gonna lose this dream and you protect this thing that you don't wanna lose. So in this documentary, I wanna be honest. I wanna and not saying that we're not honest in the daily vlogging, but we hide those things like our weaknesses, those troubles that we go through, personal weaknesses and struggles and frustrations. And I want to expose all that. I want to show, how hard a lot of these YouTubers work. I want to show, John and Hank Green planning VidCon and the stress. And they're always, happy and chipper. But when you see them behind the stage at VidCon, they're freaking out, they're cussing, there's things that are going wrong, and there's thousands and thousands of kids who have spent a lot of money to come to this event, and they're melting down, and I want to, not like I'm going to expose every YouTuber out there, but I want to show the real story.
Peel back at the, the layers and show
Share what you told me yesterday about Christmas Day, and your...
For instance, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but for every Christmas for the last couple of years, we've done a Shay Tard's Christmas special. It's like an hour-long vlog. This year it was like an hour and 15 minutes. And people look forward to it all year. I think that may be the only video that some Shay Tard viewers watch, is they wait for the Christmas special every year. So this Christmas, on Christmas Day, was editing for 14 hours. And my kids are all playing with their toys and they're all running around and they're having Christmas dinner and daddy's stuck
You're like
behind the
missing a
computer.
part of real life.
And that's kind of like part of the sacrifice, because on all those other days when people have to get up and go to their 9-to-5 job and hate it, I get to live this dream where I'm with my family. So that's kind of like a give and take of it. On Christmas Day, I'm behind a computer for 12 hours because there's this thing that I've promised and I need to deliver.
And the chat room wants to know, what do the kids think about being in this documentary? And how do you think it's going to change once it's built to a bigger audience than just YouTube?
That's a good question. And I mean, the kids, they don't know a lot about the documentary yet because, like I said, we just started working on it. But our kids love it. I watch them in the vlogs as I'm editing, and Baby Tard singing the newest Taylor Swift song. And I'm like, she is a performer. And just Rocktard, my youngest son, he's basically the real life Truman baby. If you think about it, he's been on YouTube. His what's the sonogram? What's the picture that they call in your belly? Is it a
Ultrasound?
Ultrasound. You've had enough kids. You
What's
should
a
know.
sonogram?
I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, he was on YouTube when he was in my wife's stomach, and so
That's true.
he's like a little performer, you know.
All right, we do have an announcement to make. Let's go
We're gonna
back.
say it
Has
now?
there been any donations in real time? Go to the link below. Donate right now. We'll give you a shout out on the show.
Yeah, Alex contributed $25. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Wow, we've actually gotten a lot. Benjamin, $5.
Thanks, Ben.
Alexandra, $5.
$5. That's all
Thank
that
you.
we're asking.
Christina
Just a
put in
little-
150.
Christina, thank you.
Yep. Ian gave us $5. Thank you,
Dang,
Ian.
even though
Thank
it's
you, Ian.
every
Yeah.
dollar counts, right?
Yeah, literally, yeah. Because it's not about a couple people giving us a lot of money or people who are like, oh, money's really tight. I shouldn't donate or I
That's
don't
a
want to donate.
coffee,
Yeah,
you
don't
know?
feel pressure to donate. If you can't,
Don't. Yeah, that's another thing I want to
Do
say.
not donate.
If you're in a hard place financially, don't like go sell a kidney to help us make this movie. I'm not asking that. If you have a couple extra bucks, we would like to have that money to make this film.
Link below.
I don't.
I
yeah.
already sold my kidney.
Jackson, why?
That's how we pay to be an associate producer.
Sorry.
All right, let's make this big announcement. There are many perks right now. If you go to Indiegogo.com from $5, $150 to a few thousand.
Yep.
Check it out at the link below. Donate in real time. We'll give you a shout out in the show. What is the big announcement here on What's Trending Live?
So a lot of the criticism that we got is like, oh, Shay's part of this multi-million-dollar company. He has the money. He can make this movie. He doesn't need to suck money from us and steal all of our money. And it makes me really feel emotional. I feel like the funds that have already been donated from the almost 1,000 people are sacred. We will take that money and we will take care of it and we will use it in the best way that we can to make the best movie possible. And to prove, and I don't know if this proves it or not, but just to show that we're not trying to make this film to make a bunch of money. If it makes money, documentaries are known for being poor money makers. You don't make a documentary to be rich. You make a documentary to tell a story. That's what documentaries are. Is they're stories about things that people don't know about. It's exposing a community. What was your mission statement that you said?
Very quickly, is why I make YouTube videos and vlogs is to influence positive change.
So we want to expose a community that is influencing positive change. And for the people that have already donated, I'm making this promise right now. If the documentary does make any money, if for say it blows up and it's super successful and Sony or Fox or somebody buys it, I promise right here on your show,
Yes, bring the scoop. Exclusive scoop.
That we will refund everybody's. If say we make this movie and it sells for $10 million, I will refund everybody's money who donated. Plus, I will double. If you donated $50, you're gonna get your $50 back plus 50. So we will double.
So it's like an investment.
It's a literal investment. You are taking a risk on us, and we will be willing, if it does, if this money does make movie,
Money make movie.
If this movie does make money, we will give back all of the people who trusted us and believed in this story, and we will not only give them back the money that they donated, but we will double whatever they donated.
Wow, that's amazing.
I would love that.
Woo! Only on What's Trending. You heard it here first. Let's go back to the chat room.
The chat room is so excited, and they're all saying, we've been watching for so long, how will it be a little bit different than the vlogs? Will you show some of your darker sides or maybe how you got started?
Yeah, like we said earlier, we want this movie to be honest. We don't want it to be like, we're all YouTubers and we're living a dream life. Check it out. Here's more of our dream life. We want to show the real struggles that a lot of YouTubers kind of protect. And for whatever reason, for fear of being judged, and that's just human nature.
People fear of losing what you've been building for so long.
Which is weird because you started it as like taking risks, but then you start becoming safe because you see that worked. So you don't want to go outside of that box.
It's funny because it does. The initial risk to say, I'm going to make a video with me and my family every day is a huge risk. You're putting yourself out there to be judged and commented on. And then after that happens, it's like, oh, I'm in this safe little place where people are watching my videos. but you don't really tell those real struggles that you're going through because you're afraid that if you do, it's like, well, people will think I'm a bad person if I tell them like what my daily struggle is, and then they won't watch anymore, and then I'll have to go back to, you know, cutting granite for a living, and I won't be able to live this dream that is created. And so you kind of like
It's a
hide
bit
and you
morosity.
protect
Yeah,
it.
you create that.
Yeah.
Let's go back
It's
to
a
the
bit
donations,
neurotic.
by the way.
Cool.
And now we're going to go to Google Plus chat.
Yep.
Let's read off some donations quickly.
Okay, so
To
Chris
this-
donated $5. Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Chris.
Go to
Thank
the
you,
link
Chris.
below
Thomas gave us
for more.
25. Thank you, Thomas.
Woo!
I have somebody's email here to avoid privacy reasons.
Yeah.
The first couple letters are BWAG.
JohnSmithW@yahoo.com. Thank you so
We're only
much.
giving people's first names for privacy. Ants contributed $5. Thank you,
Donate
Ants.
in real time, my friends. We'll give
Yep,
you a shout out
thank
on the
you,
show.
guys.
Continue to do that. So as we saw, this film focuses a lot on established, well-known vloggers, but we want to get all kinds of different people here involved in this discussion. So joining us now via Google Plus from Chicago, it's vlogger Ava Gordy. Hey, Ava. Welcome. How you doing, Ava?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. It's nice to see you. So tell me how you got connected to Shay and, you know, your connection to the whole YouTube world.
Well, I've been watching Shay and the Shay Tarts for 3 years now. I'm a huge fan.
Woo!
And this project, at first, I was a little iffy too because I didn't really understand it. But after you guys have been explaining it so much, I understand it completely and I'm fully behind it. And I emailed Corey on a whim, and he managed to get back to me, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I in particular am really easy to get a hold of, and she just saw his announcement.
What is that
video.
supposed to mean?
I
don't read any of your
accessible.
emails.
He reads tweets while he drives,
No, that's-
which is really
Don't
awesome.
say that.
That's my big
That's part of the documentary. We're gonna show. We're exposing the truth.
I want Ava, as someone who is part of the community and a fan of Shay, what would you like to see in this documentary?
Well, what I was thinking is like all of these smaller YouTubers like me, and even like 50,000 subscribers or stuff like that. It's just a different perspective, or people who have just started have such a different view on what it is. I know Shay, you started when YouTube started, I feel. So it was different from you growing, whereas where it's like me growing is completely different, and it's hard.
No, it is. I mean, what made you want to start documenting your life, Ava, and how have you been able to push through? Because, you know, starting now is totally different than starting a few years back.
Yeah.
I don't vlog every day, obviously, but I do vlog. I try to vlog once a week. I have a beauty channel, and I'm also on a collab channel with my friends who also make videos, and it's so great. Like, I can't tell you how passionate I am about this community. But yeah, I struggle with the same things, like fear of talking about things. And even though I'm smaller, I still struggle with almost exactly the same things you guys do. So
Isn't it funny? We're all people.
We're all
and we
the same.
Struggle with the same thing.
But the people that do take those risks, like the Jenna Marbles, who are just able to talk about anything, you see how it has its benefits. Like in the end, we all have experienced those things. So why have that fear? But it's something that we all go through, whether you're on YouTube or not. I think.
Well, one thing we've put on our Indiegogo page, we just added it yesterday, is that we really want to make sure we are showing vlogging from all angles. That includes YouTubers of all sizes, regardless of how many subscribers you have. So we have an email. I think it's imavlogger@imvlogginghere.com. But that is listed on our Indiegogo page. If you vlog, if you've made daily vlogs or weekly vlogs or just sitting down talking to a camera vlogs, we want you to be a part of the documentary. We're going to be interviewing people at Playlist Live and at VidCon, but in our travels, other places we're going to, we want to talk to everybody. So if you shoot us an email and you have something to say about vlogging, we would love to put you in it.
Ava, where can people find you?
my username is HaltIamAva, HALTIamAva.
Cool.
AVA.
Thank you so much for joining us from Chicago with all that insight. And keep vlogging, keep working hard. It's all worth it.
Thanks,
and
Ava.
thanks for your support. Let's check back in
Thanks.
with donations right now.
Sure.
Corey.
Sure. Can you say other things while I quickly refresh
So
the
this,
emails?
this is one thing that just dawned on me is for the people that have already donated, we are going to keep you up to date. One of the perks, and that's if anybody donates, is a weekly newsletter about the progress of this film. So it's not going to be like, give us your money and then you'll hear back from us in 6 months. We're going to be, anybody who donates is going to be getting a weekly email from me, from Corey, from another person that's helping with the production of the movie, and we're going to let you know. Like this week, we're in Indianapolis visiting. Is that where John Green lives?
Yeah.
Is that a secret?
Don't say exactly what
chat
it
room
is.
just
All right, let's go back.
seconds.
Jackson, while we're waiting, do you want to give us the donations updates?
Yeah, so a couple donations updates. Jenna contributed $5. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.
Nicholas gave us $10. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Nicholas. Gregory contributed $5. Thank you guys very much, really.
And the chat room,
Kevin Nolte! The reasons I started YouTube. How much did he donate?
$30.
$30. You can afford more than that. Nolte.
He
I
has
want
kids.
50
Come
for
on.
you.
the chat room here is blown up. They want to know, will there be also a soundtrack to it, like Megan Tonjes, Montana Dana?
Yes.
That's funny because I literally just texted Dana Montana, who's one of she's an artist that I found on YouTube, and there will be lots of YouTuber music. I want to get We the Kings to do a song. I want to get Walk Off the Earth. Jackson Harris might have a track in the movie.
Driftless Pony Club.
Driftless Pony Club, Wheezy Waiter's band.
Tara
Bright, Megan Tonjes.
And we've already
Let's make that album go #1 on iTunes.
Yeah, I think it's possible with all that support.
Cool. So one thing that's really important is what we were talking about before is the accountability. And so like we want to share with everybody what we're doing exactly when and why. So there's going to be the weekly newsletter updates, but at the same time, we're going to be making a behind the scenes of the documentary while we make it. I am a daily vlogger. I think that is one of the reasons that Shay went with me, because I understand vlogging. Like, I've been doing it. We're on our third year.
And you're Canadian.
And we're both Canadian.
You Canadians.
And so you're going to see us making this documentary while we're making it. You're going to be able to watch us every day. Well, you know, it's delayed by one day, the next day, for the 6 months that we're filming. And we want to film March, April, May, June, July, August. And we want to go to these places, film all of these things. The climax is going to be at VidCon. And then at VidCon, we're going to release the teaser trailer. Ooh. And then by the end of the year, we want the documentary to be out. And I know you really want to share who the editor is.
Oh, so
another announcement.
Yeah, this is another
Bring
thing.
it on.
Is because of Corey's nerdiness, his relationship to Star Wars, the editor, and that's another part of the big part of the budget. No, George Lucas will be editing.
He's editing it himself.
But close to that, a guy who worked at Lucasfilms for 7 years, who actually edited all the behind-the-scenes Blu-ray disc box set. The same editor that did all that will be editing this documentary, and he has a big fee. Like, this guy has been editing for years and years. And I know a lot of people say, well, why don't you get one of the editors at Maker Studios to edit? We want this movie to be world class. We want this to be the best of the best.
Like film festival stuff.
Yeah. We want to enter this into Sundance. We want to send your money back. We want to double your money.
Yeah.
We
We need to blow it up, put it in, Cannes, Tribeca, Sundance, Toronto Film Festival, whatever. Find a distributor. The distributor's going to buy it off of us. They're not going to be allowed to re-edit it. Shay is going to have final say over the edit. We're going to
reinventing the rules.
Get this thing out there, but definitely put it on YouTube for free. Yeah. Definitely, that is like the most important thing. Right. And then give everybody their money back and double it.
This has been such a blast. This is the first time we've been able to do it in this format, helping you raise money, hearing the story. And thank you so much for all of your hard work and for being here today. The project is I'm Vlogging Here. Donate right now or anytime in the next week at Indiegogo.com/I'm Vlogging Here to get all these amazing perks and to help make this amazing movie a reality. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.